What does that mean?
So I had learnt from the last cycle that even if you're vaguely vague about how to navigate the space, people will A, get it wrong, fuck it up so badly, and then they'll blame me for it. There's a bit of self-preservation in this. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it a meme that is super fucking clear. I'm going to launch an NFT that you put in your Solana wallet that looks at you and says there's a little video file of me saying, don't fuck this up. And it's basically, don't use leverage, don't FOMO, self-custody, and keep most of your assets in the major tokens. Just simple rules of thumb that don't lose your crypto, don't lose your crypto, don't lose your crypto, don't lose your crypto. You know, if the mega trend is going from 2.5 trillion to 100 trillion, honestly, you betting on, some random meme coin is not the best way to capture that trend. You might be able to get a bit of that right. Capture the fucking trend first. Then you can trade around it a bit. But if you do not capture that trend, you will have done the opposite of the message. If I keep telling people, and again, this means a lot. It's like, this is the biggest opportunity. Don't come to me and tell me they made money and you didn't. Literally, there are thousands of high quality people into this space trying to help. None of us have all the answers. Don't expect us to be gurus, but we are trying to help. We want everybody to come with us. It's also self-interested because the more people that come with us, the more people succeed, the more the space is valuable. So we're all incentivized. So we want people not to fail. And I don't want people to come to us and say, well, you guys got it all right. Like, I've given you every tool. I've given you literally thousands of hours of video. I've shown you where I've got it wrong. I've shown you where I've got it right. Just be part of that trend. 2.5 trillion, 100 trillion. Don't get thrown off.
How do we get to 100 trillion for the crypto asset class when the S&P 500 is 50 trillion today?
So this is a unique asset class because it's money. It's the rails for money. It's probably the rails for the financial system. Like, equities should be tokenized, more efficient use of better technology, efficient capital. So that's equities, bonds, derivatives. What are derivatives? Particularly OTC derivatives, they're just unique contracts. Well, that's NFTs. Okay, so the financial system, clear. Okay, well, the derivative market is 1.4 quadrillion. Now, it doesn't mean it's 1.4 quadrillion usage of the underlying token you'd need, but that's a lot of value and volume that's going to happen. So that's the real world asset side of the equation. Then there's the culture side. We talked about memes. Memes are valuable. What is the value of the culture of Disney? Disney's what, $100, $200 billion company? The value of Disney culturally, trillion, 2 trillion? It's gigantic. The value of pop stars, the value of all sorts of things, sports teams. We haven't known how to realize these. These are intangibles. So those kind of things. Then there's just the simple use cases for things like ticketing. Straightforward, all tickets should be NFTs, particularly hotel rooms, plane tickets, all of that kind of stuff. People, it's really interesting. I watch a lot of people, particularly the finance people who get crypto. They're like, yeah, real world assets, that's the big thing. I'm like, yeah, it's huge. I get it. Add together all of the financial services companies in the Western world, all of them. And add together all of the culture companies. And for that, that's Google, because of YouTube and WhatsApp. That's Meta, X, You could add LVMH. You can add, the Disneys, the media companies, the sports teams, the music, everything else dwarfs the finance industry, kills it. Just the number of ads that are served on social media, which is just attention monetization, hundreds of billions of dollars a day.
And there is a lot of today's unrealized gross domestic product, because you're saying in the attention economy.
That's right. It's huge.
So it's not captured yet by any financial mean, but it's about
even
to
if
be.
it is, it's not captured by you and I. It goes to other people. But a lot of this is not captured. So we've seen, and again, it may be a good example and maybe a bad example. We don't know, and I'm passing judgment, but Iggy Azalea, who's, was it her?
Building the mother.
Yeah,
mother
it's not
kind.
her. It's not her.
There's basically Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Then there is Iggy,
but what's the surname? There's two different
Azalea or Izalea. Yeah, she's
Yeah. That is tokenized culture. Does it last? We don't know. Does hers last? I don't know. But if Taylor Swift tokenized
absolutely
her economy, how big is that?
Crazy.
Her economy is so big, it moved the US economy when she was touring. It added to GDP measurably.
Two things talking about that. One is like a shout out to Singapore government. What they've done, when they knew Taylor Swift would come to Asia, they bought all the rights for the concert. So everyone would come to Singapore to watch the concert. And she would not give any concert anywhere else in Asia, which is pretty crazy and shows how forward thinking the government is. Like the other thing was a few years ago, you talked with Yatsu on your podcast, which I also had on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. And you talked about
universal basic equity.
We talked about that, but you also talked about, I have a blank, social tokens.
Yes.
What we're seeing now with these meme coins is kind of that, but not really what was expected, right? Do you think these kind of like meme coins, celebrity meme coin are a version of that?
Yes.
Or even might be that?
This is the start. This is the experimentation. This is the Wild West. This is where people try stuff, like we saw with NFTs last cycle. We don't know where these are going to lead to. All of these are going to come together in culture. And what we're seeing is pioneers, scammers, frontier people testing it. So I think it's real. We're not there yet. But I know that social tokens and having tokenized economies and being able to earn income in an AI world from participating in communities is the most human thing you can possibly do.
You just mentioned NFTs. I think I saw a tweet yesterday from Ansem. He was asking, are NFTs dead? And then there was basically two choices that you could say, no, they're not. They're coming back. Or something like meme coin super cycle, or like everything's about meme coin right now, right? And actually the answers were interesting. 55% or 60 were thinking meme coin. So basically NFTs are dead. 40, 45 thinking, no, they're coming back, which is actually very bullish NFT, right? Because people are trying to not believe in them anymore. You called NFTs trophy assets. What's a trophy asset? And what does that mean for all the people who think that NFTs are dead?
So firstly, on the broad trend of NFTs, it was culture being tokenized, creating communities, right? That was a test case for, can we have an identity for a community that is unique to us? 99% of those projects go to zero. Let's see what happens to Bored Apes or Punks or a bunch of these things, right? Pudgy Penguins.
Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, but let's see, right? It's interesting what we can do with those NFTs. The cultural stuff and the trading speculation has now gone to memes. Will memes outperform NFTs this cycle? For sure, because it's captured everybody's attention. Doesn't mean they're going away. It just means they're going to morph into the next thing, and we will see. But what I realized again, it's these moments that I'm really lucky. I get to meet people, I get to invited to stuff, and I learned something I didn't think I was going to learn. So I got invited to a private event at Beeple's studio in January. I'd always owned NFTs, but I hadn't really gone all in. And I was at Beeple's studio, and I was presenting